Did Pearl make EDG look closer to our finalists from Copenhagen, or are they actually for real? Forsaken getting pushed away by the drone. Start things off, but it's Smoggy.
Early aggression, how do you come up with two? And he wants a bit more. Fight still being taken, but that's going to be the right click and play. Chichu eventually dealing with him. A nice and easy trade.
Smoggy is a pistol demon. He did the same thing in round 1 of Pearl. Ran forwards, got 2 kills, 3 kills in fact on Pearl. Instantly with the Ghost.
At this point, 2 players remaining, left scrambling a little bit. I think if you are Paper X, you can see Benkai now forced to re-clear out through kitchen. Watching for that mid push because A's been compromised for quite some time.
And look at how good EDG have been at pumping the brakes when they get into a man advantage situation on the attack side. They did it on Pearl, they're doing it again here as well. Just take a moment, pause, make the Paper X defenders spread out around the map. They'll set you up better.
A lot of damage done at the end of the day, but the kills returned for EDG.
And it's another great pistol round unless Mindfreak can pull off a 1v4. It just doesn't seem doable. Maybe if Haldon gives him a fight.
Yeah, not quite. Intelligent play, isn't it? Just a quick little peek, jiggle for the info. Now crossfire setup, so.
And of course, Mindfreak worried that these players are just baiting him, worried about a flank coming through. Kankang is there, but a long way away. And nobody's good for it. Shuts down both of those stragglers left alive.
And Smoggy in the pistol round again, Josh, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I went crazy with it in terms of the pistols. And I honestly, getting off to a nice early lead, something to get the momentum going for Edward Gaming, I think bodes well in this map.
It definitely, absolutely does. The lack of Life I thought was going to hurt them on this map, because Life is their Jet player. Smoggy hasn't really been playing Jet recently. No. They don't have the same agent pools, at least on face value. But Smoggy looked pretty good there just on the pistol. Not that it required too much of, you know, the Jet play style.
Sure, that prowess not really being flexed really, but still shots were found.
Kills are kills at the end of the day, aren't they?
Yeah, and they have bought into this one with 2 rifles. You can see that Kankang and Smoggy do have that in play. That's one of the headhunter bullets, just off taken out in a double swing. Bit of run and gun, obviously, in play there when you got the Spectres. At this point, it's about making sure that you don't lose anybody else if you are Edward Gaming.
Yeah, you want to try and keep this as clean as you possibly can. Hardon, with a pistol, I mean, shooting the body.
You are literally reloading, son, because of that.
That is
bad manners costing you your life.
Okay, Kankang still got it under control. They're not getting punished for it particularly. And Haldong, of course, only losing a Ghost, not too bad. But I think that shows us a friendly rivalry going on here within the APAC. Head to head.
And these 2 teams, you might think as well, being from roughly the same region, they might be practice partners. They actually haven't played each other in quite some time.
And I don't want to get it wrong, these guys don't have beef with each other. I mean, Kankang was talking about how much he respected Paper X coming into the tournament. Said it was Paper X getting to the finals of Copenhagen. He said, as an Asian, it was an achievement that made me feel extremely proud. There'll be a lot of pressure and nerves for us to meet such a strong team for our LAN debut. I mean, you can tell that Kankang really does respect what Paper X have done in the past, respect the players as well, but always time for a cheeky...
Sure, a bit of confidence.
Bit of body shooting.
Show that you're not scared of the finalists.
Exactly. It just helps remove all the nerves, doesn't it?
I think a conversion here of this bonus round for EDG would be fantastic. Because again, bring up the same question that we did at the very beginning as well. Was the first map close just because of Pearl, because of that unknown quantity? Or can they do it on a map that Paper X are particularly good at?
Jing is very aggressive up here on A, but it looks like the spike is heading over towards B. Paper X are very familiar with this kind of play, but Forsaken making some noise here, and there's 2 EDG players.
Taking a lot of damage, but the angle's still being watched.
Baited in.
Yeah.
And that's a nice player advantage to be able to cook up. Haldong's still left behind on what is going to become a strange late lurk. And on the other side of the map, despite not having many players here, Paper X have still denied the plant. Oh, that is unlucky for Mindfreak.
And I love this proactivity. Already taking the back of the side as well, pushing right past their own Viper wall here. Risks are being taken. And they're being rewarded for it. Eventually, though, that is going to be the trade. You can see Ching was able to catch that one, and Chichu, well, caught with a util out in his hands.
But not getting the plant down has cost EDG here. Howdong is on the latest lurk of his life. Yeah. He spent all of that time, Bren, just trying to pick up a Phantom.
And not enough time left in this round to really do too much more. It's gonna be the double face. Easily dealt with, and it was looking so good, honestly. I thought for a moment the game plan from Edward Game was to try and fight them in their spawn, you know, push past that Viper wall.
But it was only nobody that pushed through. It might have been great as a coordinated attempt. And listen, it's still a decent bonus round. They take 2 away. Here's the replay. Divine just being able to pick up those stragglers as they kind of just contested one at a time. Wasn't particularly coordinated once they fought at the end of that round. But EDG, like I said, it was still a bonus round. They've got 5 rifles coming into this. So now we get to see possibly just a single coordinated A push. The Viper wall going down at the beginning.
Not destroyed, you have to expect somebody's push. When that goes down, kills are being found though, and yep, there you go. Dealt with. Little jump up there onto the box, gives Kang the angle.
And if you were wondering at the beginning of this game, were Forsaken and Jing just going to run over EDG, there's a round for you that answers the question. Taken down instantly by their counterparts, Kang and, in this match, Smoggy. And I love the fact that they just pump the brakes every time that they get a player advantage. Yeah. I think there is so many new teams to the global stage that will push an advantage as soon as they get it, without taking a moment to breathe.
Not willing to slow it down.
Never willing to slow it down, and that really was a concern for me with EDG, judging by how aggressive their players are.
Yeah, that's how they played.
But I think
LCQ.
I think they're looking good here. They're just making sure that every advantage gets converted.
And it was said as well, before it was rumored, it was said in the interview that we saw prior as well, that EDG really did get tested as well by teams the likes of Exet Optic.
In scrims, yeah.
Yeah, pushed them to improve. They've made radical improvements in that short amount of time that they have been here.
And they said they knew what the next step of their game plan would be. I think we're seeing it right here.
I think we're seeing it. Because there hasn't been this nuance before. When you watch their online games, if you're a fan of EDG, if you're watching that East Asia LCQ, you are seeing a step up, I think.
Yeah, I would
Despite
agree.
the fact that they're playing with a sub.
Yeah, that's the impressive part, isn't it? And PaperX just forced to save in this round. Howdong had a lurk play going, actually, up towards the top of Tube. He just never got an opportunity to go for anybody. And now takes a peek into Divine and goes down, but that same kind of lurk play up through Tube could be a possibility. Look at how Smoggy just jiggle peeks that and is instantly looking for the player supporting Jing. This showcases to me that they understand how the top teams in the world are going to play. It's so easy for a team to forget that there's always going to be someone ready to support Jing.
Ready to bail them out.
But just noticing that there's going to be a trap there and being aware of where the player's going to peek from, I think that speaks very highly to how Smoggy and the rest of EDG are actually thinking about breaking apart these defensive setups. And it's another really good start to a match for EDG.
A cloudburst onto the recon. Does avoid all of that one and a dash back. But just before Forsaken collects that kill onto Kang.
And it's still A aggression from PaperX, but it's much more proactive. Forsaken dropped down to 1 health.
Folks have been watching as well, just that mid approach.
And that was
playing there a lot.
Yeah, that was Howdong on the lurk. Last time he went up Tube, this time underneath. And how does Smoggy and nobody play this?
Take flight.
That's the question.
Dangerous position to drone from. It's only Smoggy watching.
It really
now
is.
Smoggy trying to work off the back of the drone.
But entirely doable, I think. Position is known. They know at the bottom side of Tube here. Nobody. It's back right through. Recon's gonna be really easy. Warbagged him. That's oh my goodness!
What a play!
And nobody has been elite in the online stage, but now a mighty task ahead of him. 1 bullets left. That Prowler just about latching on to his heels. 30 seconds remaining. Players are low.
30 seconds
Has
left.
to try and isolate a fight on both of them. A single bullet will do it.
A single whiff, a breath onto Benkai and Forsaken would take them down.
And look at this play. The back of his mind. He has shown phenomenal game sense and mechanical ability. He contact plays towards A. Here's the footsteps, 10 seconds remaining.
Left.
No need for a headshot, but delivers it anyway. And he has his ult to play off, a shock dart, a recon dart. Nobody is so intelligent in these situations, and he is outplaying PaperX right now.
It's down to this. Forsaken versus the newcomer to the stage. And honestly, just the slightest bit of damage will do it. It's all about timing here. It's all about timing. Back to back. Where are the players playing up the ropes? I don't believe it! And a shot is found! An ace to clutch it through! Welcome to Champs!
What a play! Nobody, this is his map. This is his playground. His Sova here is phenomenal. Managing to pick off Jing to start things out, grabs the kill on Devi as well. And then this masterful clutch. Sure, on 2 players with barely a shred of health, but the way he played around the map was 7th place for damage per duel. He's outputting huge amounts of damage even when he loses duels against players. His aim is fantastic and he takes such smart fights. Able to put his team in positions to succeed.
A bit of that early aggression. Fast control of B main. Orb going to be propped up. In fact, Mindfreak's even playing inside of this one. But Spam might do the trick on the half-buy here with the Stinger in play. Pops over the top of it. His orb is going down. He is isolated, but still gets away with it. Just the one-on-one. Forsaken's got the knives. How do you not get punished there? The wall over the top. This angle slightly ajar. It's going to be able to find this one, but now the Hunter's Fury to try and supplement it. Pushes it through. Nobody just pre-firing at all the different angles. And he gets the damage. Creates the space. That late load from Haodong enough to secure it.
And that's another gorgeous set play that EDG are going to run. Nobody once more setting up space for the rest of his team as Haodong goes for a lurk. There is thought behind the play here, for sure. Because look at the chaos that's created within the PaperX ranks as they had a 4-stack waiting to collect all 5 players at that point.
Every burst of the Hunter's Fury using to clear an angle. Push the players into Haodong.
And EDG actually look a little bit uncoordinated in terms of how they're getting the spike down on B, but they're being able to create enough pressure in mid that doesn't matter. PaperX are being asked some serious questions right now, but with guns back in hands, Jing opting for a more passive approach to the A defense. I think they've spotted where he's hiding though.
They suspect this one, I think. Breaking down portions of the wall. This is where Jing is in a lot of trouble. He's isolated. With shots like this, Kanghang is leading the charge for his team.
He always is.
A bit of resin play though, a bit of disrespect being shown, but that's off the back of these footsteps that are being heard. Straight through mid now into orange. It's up to Mindfreak. What can he lock down? Is this angle going to be cleared? Updraft over the top. Information gathered. Not sure if he looked down or not, but he actually did spot out the one player. The discipline was there.
What a beautiful clear that was. I mean, that was so well played from Smoggy and Haodong in particular. And now PaperX put in a horrible position to try and clear this. A crossfiring Kitchen.
Just pinched on, isn't it?
Yeah, ripping them.
Pincer play.
Don't know whether that's quite a verb, but I like it.
Teleport's ready.
It's all down to Devi and Forsaken. These rounds have been magic from Edward Gaming.
And just have to save these rifles.
Like
Back in the way.
Almost.
Okay, they will get away with a couple of the weapons, but
This economic damage that they're doing to EDG doesn't even matter.
look at the bank.
The death from Devi is more important than any of it. PaperX managed to save a single operator, but no opportunity to get rounds on the board. And Bren, I think already our question has been answered. If we came into map 2 thinking, was it just Pearl that made EDG look close to our grand finals to Copenhagen? Nah, not at all.
Not the case.
Not the case.
I want to carry it away a lead like this.
Even if EDG have a comeback and are able to win the map, similar to Pearl, EDG, I think, have already showcased that they can go toe-to-toe with some of the best. And I don't know whether they're going to be able to pull off comebacks like that repeatedly.
No noise cues, though. This is a lot of aggression, including that haunt. Being watched, Prowler over the top. Got to suspect it. Got to know that the players are there. Indeed, the players obeyed. Forsaken. No cloudburst in play. Can't cover his tracks.
Caught. Spike going down. All of the players from PaperX on the other side of the map as well. Haodong looking to pick people up.
Aggressive play is being made. The off angle, though. What? You have got to be joking.
I mean, that is a really nice play.
Teleport's
Just
ready.
flooding players into Haodong there. allows them to get rifles back.
Oh,
Whoa! Devi!
There's no way. There's no shot. You can't be whipping this one. Still collects the kill. Down to Mind Freak.
He
Noise bait.
has a Viper's Pit.
Yeah. Suspected he might be at the top there with a bit of a tap there. Now onto the spike, but this is going to be the late lurk straight through into mid. That's Chichu. Watching all the potential angles. 7 rounds now. Fairwood Gaming. These guys are so in control right now. Their own destiny. Obviously, the stakes here. Early days in the group stage. Our first match of Champs 2022, but these guys are here to play.
Yeah, ADG are looking excellent. I think, you know, there's a couple of moments there where PaperX might be able to get back into the round, but look at the scoreboard. EDG are 7-1 up, and they've been able to win these anti-eco rounds. It's not like they're giving PaperX opportunities that are being capitalized on. Op. Out of play here as Kankang takes it up towards Belt.
And that is going to be the first kill found. What an impeccable one at that. No Mind Freak.
Here.
No Viper utility to try and block off 410 or any sort of aggressive play that might come into way. And you can see there's pace once more being injected behind this one. Just trying to clear out Maze, but I don't expect that Jing could be up top here. Viper's Pit is dropped down though, so these angles are not going to be quite as clear. Jing wants to try and drop down into them anyway. Wants to take the fight, but somehow, some way, Haodong once more comes through.
That is a spectacular round again from Haodong. He's a master inside the Viper's Pit. He just can't be stopped.
How is he getting this much value, man? He's using a Vandal in it as well. All the traces revealing his positioning.
But it doesn't matter because every shot's a headshot for Haodong.
Just robotic in terms of aim. Look at this guy.
Yeah. He looks fantastic inside there. And honestly, Brent, when I've been watching Edward Gaming, I would tell you Haodong is probably their weakest PaperX. More so than even FPX did in the finals on ICEBOX. Yeah. You know? This is a world-class performance coming out from EDG right now.
And those were the questions we had for this team. How are they going to be competing against the top dogs? Well, looking at that 8-1 scoreline, certainly feeling quite comfortable.
And they're actually playing quite controlled on these defaults too. EDG leaving not just Kankang to watch over towards A, but multiple players. Was that just a spam through the smoke there? I mean, Benkai deleted.
And still pressure applied, but Kankang, I mean, this guy just creates diamonds. You try and force the issue.
And he just goes for more, doesn't he?
Relentless aggression. Willing to play confidently, take the risks, why not? Even against that half buy.
When you're looking at Kankang, Brent, he's the most active player at Champions, right? That means he takes the most fights out of any player in the tournament. Number 2 is Jing, number 3 is Forsaken, and Kankang is still so willing to take these kind of fights. Obviously, this is an anti-eco round, but we've seen it all match so far.
Yeah. Honestly, it's what I was thinking, out of all these teams as well, which team is going to be most well-equipped for dealing with the kind of fundamentals that Edward Gaming love to have on display? It would have been PaperX in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, PaperX, FPX, these kind of teams, but there's Devi getting the better end out of Kankang as he goes for the widest swing with his attack operator. Perhaps this is the round where EDG might be getting a little overconfident, but listen, I can't blame them. They're 9-1 up currently.
Deploying drone.
And the res brings Kankang back online anyway. Puts him back on the line.
Well, that's going to be a push down for a tube. Forsaken is dealt with.
And there's never a hole in this default. At least not one that PaperX can find. They exist on the map for sure, but it feels like EDG have a great read on where PaperX's players are going to try and challenge. Which areas of the map they're prodding and poking.
Bit of spam with the Vandal. Fearless. Fearless, man.
Yeah. And that's Haodong pinging out the position that Mind Freak is normally holding the smoke from. These players are learning so quickly on the global stage.
Contact plays, on contact plays. This time it's Devi's turn, apparently, to try and work his way through down into tube, but again, just about brushing each other's backs, aren't they?
And the pit that's been used from Mind Freak, getting nothing.
Haodong
finding the timing on everybody through mid.
Apart from
Devi. But this is brought to a 3v2, where once again EDG have site control. And apart from a couple of rounds early on in the half, they've been able to manipulate these defenders so well to always being set up on the angles first.
Intelligent from Mind Freak to be able to catch the one player out, but not quite. Edward Gaming not sleeping at the wheel, are they? The instantaneous trade,
Last
that is going to be the 10th round for them. Now we're getting into this last round of the half here, Josh.
I have not seen a half this dominant since map 1 of the Grand Finals, where the team that won Copenhagen destroyed PaperX on Bind.
Yeah.
And that, at least, there's some logic behind it, because PaperX's comp is very, you know, unidimensional, one-dimensional on Bind in some senses. It has to push you. This map, they're running a normal comp. EDG is just plowing them.
You want to
Standard
play? Let's play.
Draft as well, cuts up those angles, knives in play on top of it. Using a drone to clear through. No stranger to this one, obviously.
On the other side of the map, Forsaken and Jing will not be deterred.
Yeah,
they're pushing aggressively again, even though normally EDG have 2 players watching for this.
Blocking sight.
PaperX are getting good information on the other side of the map.
I'll say, nobody is one away from his ult.
Here.
Or kill will do it. Now that Viper fuel back up, it's going to be the snake bite drop down, and an updraft play all the way up close and personal. Taking position into this. Howlong's pushing forwards. Jing should not really be favoured there. The fight's still being taken, but a Nightfall on top of it, that's going to be pushing the players back and giving a bit of space now for Jing.
They know that Jing's behind. And Forsaken being able to win the jet battle has given his team a massive advantage. Are EDG going to go through a double push through the smoke? Just a single tap from Howdong, trying to trigger out some kind of response. But it's PaperX with 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's an honestly dominant half.
Also expected PaperX to go for, and PaperX have the advantage on. But who knows with this? I wasn't expecting ICEBOX to be this one-sided.
Yeah, honestly, would have said it on, I think, both of the maps we've seen so far, but all that pressure that's being applied just through the choke point, that's going to force out the horns and the wall as well, portions of it being broken off. In fact, the kill already being found with Smoggy falling.
There goes Smoggy. The pistol ace sub that EDG have brought in has been very good in these kind of rounds.
Still trying to take it. Okay.
And Divide just about being able to pick up the second one.
This is what you're going to see from Edward Gaming, is that they are not going to be afraid still to get straight into the action. Kills being found backwards, forwards, this way, that way, with the wall dropped up.
Player standing.
Looking away across now, all up to Chichu. Still being watched off, but players are low enough here that there is a possibility. It's going to be that double face, though, that eventually shuts it down, and so the pistol round is a reality.
Yeah. For EDG, I don't think you need to be doing anything crazy here, no force buy or anything like that. You have such a massive lead. But now, if you want to talk about the comeback being a possibility here, I mean, take a look at this as well. Smoggy's last official match, July, as a member of Weibo Gaming. So he's not normally a player for this team. That's the other part that I was talking about earlier. He's not somebody that's been in and out in general, not specific to ICEBOX, but in general, is very good. It's one of the big areas that they have a massive advantage over EDG usually, the attack side. But that's about delivering bonus rounds, that's about being able to manipulate EDG and get entry picks as well. A lot of those things have not really been going their way over the course of this entire series. And it was a short take pause. I knew it
was.
Super quick.
Good job, you didn't curse it. As soon as you said that, I was like, why did you? Why did you? But listen, we're getting back into it.
So these kind of rounds, a good opportunity to take a look at how EDG are defending. So it's a bit of a multi-purpose Viper wall over on B that Howdong is throwing down.
Playing fast and loose at the positioning, though. Looks like they've already rotated a lot of the bodies over towards this one site. Can they try and take the fight? The answer is yes. That's going to be a trade. In fact, another one just underneath belt. Just underneath the rafters, I should say. Still looking for a couple more with the pistols. The Chichu's just running and gunning, man.
And Mind Freak, he didn't have a weapon until just now.
It's done Mind Freak!
What a thrifty! And that has put the nail in the coffin, Brent. If there was any hope of a comeback, it's gone now. It's gone.
I mean, just completely unexpected. You asked me to predict this match as well.
Look at the skill involved here. I mean, EDG are never out of these kind of rounds.
I love this as well, though. The play, when they're on this eco round, play fast and loose at the positioning.
Yeah.
Chuck the bodies towards the site that you think that they're leaning towards. You know? Trade it out, try and play for it.
And listen, a lot of teams do that. That's not specific to how EDG are playing. To me, it's the consistency of shots being hit that's absurd.
Yeah.
And the fact they're keeping it up winning the duels against one of the best teams we have in the world. There's Smoggy getting a bit too aggressive without support, however.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit of a showcase, honestly, of maybe the gap with Life not playing. Because Smoggy was out in the open there. There was no one covering that belt angle. Chichu does not play here. Well, the Horn spotted him, and the Seas on top of it. Latches him in position, and it's set up Forsaken beautifully. 2 kills to open it up now.
Uh-oh.
Last player standing.
Playing weed inside that Viper's Orb.
And that could have been an opportunity had Haodong found 2. But left to Kankan. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Paper X have another lifeline with which to play. EDG, though, is still going to be able to buy up possibly into this.
Gaming are going to be playing for this one. 2 hero rifles.
Bring them down.
And a heavy presence in mid, actually, watching this one. It's going to be that clash, I think, a bit of a battle taking place. Yes, indeed. Straight for a tube. That's Smoggy. He's rattling off the shots. He's going to be healed himself up as well. Collects another one for his troubles.
Already Kankan on the push, though.
Hey up. Oh, my goodness. Coverage needs to be in play. You don't want to be using that weapon.
Yeah, good luck being able to execute the flank with the shorty now. Headhunter bullets expended. What? I don't think Devi intended to go for that one.
Yeah, that's an unusual one. Still, they're going to be able to get space. Gains onto that A side, but they have handed over the weaponry, at least exchanged here and there. No more rifle taken out of the hands of him.
No charges.
And it looks like a position where Jing should get punished. And he does Jing things again and cleans them both up.
That's a wild round.
But now EDG are going to have rifles back in their hands.
I was curious, honestly, as well, whether or not they were going to be trying to save a bit of their money as well, get the operators online on the defensive side, but no, just opting into the rifles being played.
Yeah, Kankan opts a lot more than Devi or Forsaken on Paper X. Even if you combine Devi and Forsaken together, Kankan still uses the operator more than they do.
Yeah.
Opting not for it in this case, but a tour de force out for Devi on the attack side.
You want to play?
Doesn't normally play these kind of situations too aggressively, more just to support the rest of his team. But Devi has the spike heading towards A right now, and it is such an aggro setup from EDG.
What face from EDG? Kaya takes the fight, nobody's trying to bail him out, but at least there is the swing. Forsaken's able to trade it, but you never expect the follow-up. Smoggy's still up top on belt, all the knives expended. Forsaken's just trying to get the hell out of there.
2 players up. Jing, if he finds a kill, will have the res back online. Bodies all over the place. And Chichu on the fast flank.
The angle. Tap the rifle, repositioning, that's a spike drop down.
That's a res, but that also gives time for Chichu to start working his way forwards and deny these bodies. Sorry, apologies, misreading that one. Thought that was Jing that we were watching. It's Forsaken, of course.
He's managed to grab the spike. He's after this fight, it's being taken! Bit of run and gun in play! Haodong, he forces the favourable fight, he doesn't go down.
For you.
That's going to be that 12th round here for ICEBOX. 1 more will do it.
EDG have just been... that defensive setup definitely bodes taking a look at again. They had an aggressive Viper smoke that Smoggy was inside of, and Smoggy is then able to swing out on belt
Do not expect
off
that.
the back of everyone else's aggression. That is such a good defensive setup for A aggression that I haven't seen other teams using. EDG bringing fresh ideas to the table at their first time at a global event. And they're just looking masterful.
Dash to the side. That's the knives in play.
Fearless.
Impeccable crosshair placement from Smoggy.
And absolutely fearless. I mean, just not worried about Forsaken running into him there at all.
Just anticipating the wide swing as well.
And that's a first death. Paper X cannot afford it. They need 7 rounds in a row
There.
clean.
The res, but it's so far out in the open. They're walling for it.
Will not
Oh!
Breaks a portion.
Brutal!
But the spam is there. There is going to be coverage in play. Recon against the side. They heard the drop. Mindfreak's going to be closer towards me. It's going to be that double swing now. Paper X
Face your
have to be
fear.
clean with the fundamentals. Have to be clean with the gunplay.
For you.
They are coming out at least on top of that 1 short engagement. There's still a minute left. They could pump the brakes if they wanted to, but it looks like they're opting to just try and take the fight right into the barrel of Kankan. And he's pushing back up, re-clearing into the position. 2 of the players left standing. All of these liberties being taken. This could be it. The final blow. And it's just down to the singular player. Devi cannot stand up against it. Map number 3 is on the cards.